just went off.
And it just went back on. We can talk a few minutes more.
Okay, it's spelled Joycelyn. A lot of people don't put the E and they get a porn star. It's not me.
It's not her.
It's not me.
Either way, they're happy.
Hopefully, I hope she's doing a good representation because I just don't like these bad pictures.
You're like, that is not me, not even with a wig, that's not
Yeah.
Now, you said you send them to agents, and do you also send them to training?
No.
Since you come from
No, when
Meisner
they come
and
to me,
Adler?
She's the
when they
trainer.
come to me, they either have no training or they have a lot of training. It's either one or the other. I'm either cleaning up the training that they have so it doesn't get in the way of their booking, or I'm teaching them the technique and then this becomes their training.
So what you're teaching is the
Teaching them
technique
how to
of how
break
to
down the
walk
script.
in that office.
You could book. I have people all over the world that just have the book and not me, and they book just from reading the book. I have
That's
testimonies from
awesome.
all over the world. It's crazy.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's it. Now, how do you say? It's almost I keep thinking of the actor prepares. In a sense, that's what you're doing here.
The actor prepares to work.
Did you ever see the book? The acting book.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Uta Hagen.
No, I have Uta Hagen right there.
Which
No.
one? Stella.
No, it was
Stanislavski.
yeah, Stanislavski's.
Oh,
It was
okay.
Strasbourg. The actor prepares.
Okay.
And Uta Hagen, I think that's the best book on acting there is.
Yeah, a
The
challenge
exercise.
for
A
the
challenge
actor.
to the actor.
Yeah.
For the actor.
It's so funny. She always went like that.
Yes.
That was her. I was gonna do like a book like that, just as a a tribute to Uta
But it is
Hagen.
Salome
Homage.
Jens, who is my idol.
Mm.
Even said because it's very difficult to write a book about how to act.
Yeah.
It's really hard, and that's the best. And what you have there, it says 15 guidelines.
It's how to book.
Maps the book.
It's how to book.
It's an
How to take
inter-
your talent, and what you do is you can pick up any script and know what you're doing by asking the 15 questions, and then you plug in your talent, all your training, into the technique. So the technique basically, you can basically have any audition, and it's how you play it is going to change based on the tone and style of the show, but you're going to break down your scripts the same every time, and then you plug in your training. So your training is really there to know where your emotions are, so they get plugged in and know how you're just feeling.
All right. So what would the first thing an actor would do when they walk in and pick up the script?
They would read it 10 times without giving themselves
10
a part.
times?
Without giving themselves a part.
Without giving themselves the part?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
happens
just
is
so they
that
can
an
see
actor,
both.
so they can see the perspective
Because
of
it's
2
not
points
just
of
acting,
view.
it's reacting.
Exactly. You can't be in the story without
Yeah.
understanding where the other person's coming
What's
from.
the whole point
Yeah,
of
the whole
scene?
thing. Yeah. So
I
you have to
totally
have
get
that. You have to have that. You have to have what's going on. So if you don't understand the story, you can't be in
It's
the
not
story.
a monologue, right?
Right. Which a lot of actors do.
Yeah,
they act by
highlight
themselves.
everything in yellow. This
Yeah.
is me,
Exactly.
and they
they're
don't
like,
even know.
they don't know what's
I've
going
had that
on.
happen when somebody reads. I go, you don't even know what you're talking about. It's like, oh,
So if they don't know what they're talking about, nobody else will.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So you have to know what you're doing, what you're saying, and what you're feeling. And if you don't know those 3 things, then don't go to the audition.
Know what you're what?
Doing what you're doing.
What
saying,
you're doing.
Saying
Saying
and feeling.
and feeling.
Yeah, because you could do all the homework in the world, but if you're not the character, then it's not going to happen.
Okay.
A lot of people are in their head. They're so busy directing themselves on how to do it. They should know what they're doing, not how they're going to do it.
That's exactly what I said to you before about the more an actor learns, the less they do. Because training, all the training in the world, once you learn it, you have to let it go.
Yeah, but you have to always know what you're doing.
Right. I mean, training is really for when you're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, it's just, I remember the first time I ever read, it was a play, and I did it in New York, Office Descending, The Fugitive Kind. This was 1967. And I remember reading, I had no clue, what I was really saying. I mean, all those deep thoughts that I have to learn as an actor studio member. And I remember people coming up and thought I was great.
Well,
really.
you were thinking something.
No, well, yeah, oh no, I mean, I was just doing. I wasn't thinking.
Exactly.
I was just saying the words
You were just
and the
doing-
writing
yeah.
and the feelings that were coming out.
That's what I'm
through.
saying. The feelings, the feelings, the feelings, the
Feelings that were
the
coming
feelings.
out. And I've always tried to do that.
It's
don't-
always about the feelings.
I don't, when they tell, because being an actor studio member, you know, you think you have to, because you think you have to remember everything. Why am I doing this? What's my reason for this? Why is it so important today? Which are great. I mean, to know that. But also if you just do it. My final audition I always talked about when I did Frankie and Johnny.
Mm-hmm. Claire de Lune.
Yeah, and I had no idea the character. I told Salome Jenna, I don't understand this. You know, I don't identify with this character. She said, just do it. And I remember it was Mark Rydell, Marty Landau, and oh God, I forgot his name. He's just passed away. He directed Tootsie. They did great thing.
yeah.
Just it'll come to me in a minute. Anyway, they were my judges, and I passed. And to this day, I don't remember what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of parts like that where I don't remember. I mean, sober. You know, don't remember what I did. And then I know I'm into the character.
Yeah, I mean that's like the best
Arthur
experience.
Hiller. Was it Arthur Hiller?
No, you'll come to me.
Martin.
Martin
Martin Breslin.
No.
Bressler.
No.
But it was Martin.
Something. Oh, God.
Okay, we'll think of him in a
You
second.
don't think it would have come. Yeah, he directed Tootsie and
yeah.
a few others. Great director.
What the heck's his name?
Oh, God. You know, I used to see him at the studio.
Yeah.
But I was so proud that it was those three
Yeah.
It's great.
were my judges. And I got it.
Well, you know, sometimes you just have to throw yourself in there before you know, sometimes you find out who you are by throwing yourself in.
Yeah, yeah. But
You
I
know,
don't- do you
as long
find
as
out
you know
who
what
you
you're
are?
doing.
Well, do you have to know what you're doing? I mean, you have to have some sort of, because you know, when I did,
It's different
Golden
in theater.
Boy.
It's different in theater. It's so different in theater.
oh yeah, well you
because
get a chance.
because in film and television, and mostly television, they want to see the final product.
Yes.
Okay, and so it
additions.
really is add water and stir. They want to see the final product. It's got to feel like you all just came up in your driveway, and then it's just going to pull out all the equipment and shoot you right there in the office. That's how it has to feel. It has to feel like the final performance.
Right.
And so, you know, unfortunately, you don't have that process. You have to come in and you have to just nail it on the first take,
Right.
and that's it. And you have to know what you're doing in order to do that.
It's so true. That's one thing I learned about television auditions. They want to see the final product.
Yeah, they're not interested in your process. And
No.
so that's what a lot of theater actors that come to me who have a lot of theater training, that's their biggest issue.
Yeah.
That I have to get them out of the process and into, like, just give it to me now.
Yeah.
I need it right now.
Right. That because you find a lot of actors who are terrible at cold readings.
They're terrible at cold readings because they don't know what they're doing. And
Right.
come back to that.
That's
They
what
don't
I'm
know what they're doing.
Yes, that's
If
what
they
I'm
could
saying.
just take their talent and put it into a way of working, which is why I came up with this. It gives you a template, a way of working, then you'll always show up. Like the best case scenario is to get into your car and go, oh my goodness, I had the best experience. I don't know what happened, but I just had the best experience. But damn it, I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
Not how you're going to do it, but what you're doing. And the great actors like Sean Penn, he's famous for that.
For what?
He knows
So
what
just-
he's doing.
knows
He doesn't
what-
know how he's going to do it.
Could you make that a little clear for the audience?
How you're going to do something is when you're directing it, when you're outside looking at it and deciding how you believe it should come out, rather than figuring out what the character is doing and just do that. And we will figure it out on our own.
Right.
It's not your responsibility to tell everybody's story.
Yeah, right. Well,
You
what you're
have to
saying
just
is
tell your side of the story.
don't tell them the story.
Don't telegraph it.
Yeah.
Don't telegraph it. Is the word
Yeah,
I'm looking for.
just do what you're supposed to be doing in your little slice of pizza.
Right.
Like I call each scene a slice of pizza. And, you know, you don't have to do backstory because they already shot that.
Right.
So it's not like theater. They shot the backstory and they're shooting what's happening later. So you just got to know what's going on right now.
Right.
It's so completely different.
It-
But all your training is in the 90%. That's like at the very, very beginning. If you don't give that 90%, that jump off at 90%, you're going to feel the energy in the room and you're going to fall out.
Mm.
And so all that, so it's not the moment before, it is the before.
It is.
It is the before. There is no moment before because they shot the moment before. But it is what's going on right now and making sure that it's really, really strong for you. So you're like a racehorse. So you just like come out the gate really hard and you just keep running.
Right. Well, that's a good way of looking at it. They're coming out like a racehorse.
Yeah,
Because they come up,
they come out hard.
right? They're running in there
Yeah.
before they open the gates.
You want to be that, you know what you want to be? You want to be that runner. You know that runner on the field, not the racehorse, but the runner, where they're with the pack, they're with the pack, they're with the pack, and all of a sudden,
They
Oh.
bam! They're not with the pack anymore.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
everybody's going, trying to catch up to them.
Right.
That's who you want to be.
Yeah. You pace yourself and then you go.
Then you, exactly, you don't want to be, you don't want to, you want to be with the pack. Get out of the
Right.
pack. Just get out of the pack.
And when you're ready to go, you leave them hanging.
Exactly. It doesn't matter about them. I'm sorry, but it's very selfish business.
Because
Yeah.
you figure, Sean Penn, his mother, Eileen Ryan, is a member of the studio. She's a wonderful actress, very out there. I could see he gets a lot of his talent from her.
Mm.
Because she's very daring and incredible. She's still acting.
Oh,
I saw her many years ago that she was 7. She said her on stage. She said, "I'm 76," and she looked great for her age too. But this was about 10, 15 years ago, and she's still acting. It's wonderful. She just plays over there in Malibu a lot.
I love that.
Eileen Ryan, she plays in a lot of his films. But you were so right on that, and there was something. What were you? You were going to say something there, and I interrupted. No.
No,
Oh.
I don't know.
So that would be number one,
What?
which you just said. I'm going in there. And
Well, that's actually guideline number 2. It's your opening emotion. Just making sure that it's 90% strong. It's just make sure it's strong.
What do you do before you get the script? Do you do any?
Well, what you should be doing on
Relaxations
your
or-
way over is just really working on 3 things: your opening emotion, the guideline, who am I relating to? So you really are with that person in the room, also known as personalization. But it's just really creating the energy of the person because they're not going to be with you.
Right.
You know, it's such a unique circumstance auditioning. You know, you're in a cold office with, sometimes cold people, and the last thing you want to do is to pick up their energy. So you literally have to come in with all your people and all your stuff
Yeah,
Right.
to bring it up.
to bring it with you.
What about
And
props?
so, no
No.
props. You are the prop. You're the prop, baby.
Okay.
You don't need a prop. You're the prop.
A good
There
thing
are no
I always
props.
learned about one of the studio was when it's cold. How do you play cold? Well, when you play cold, when you're cold, you talk faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Heat, you slow down.
Yeah. Says Southern.
Somebody said something about walking around really fast back and forth to get the.
What about just feeling cold?
Yeah,
That's that whole Dustin
But you're
Hoffman
right.
thing, yeah.
It's what she's saying is right because you might have heard it on one of my shows. We're talking. The British said that. I think it was what's his name, the famous.
Well, it's Sir Lawrence Olivier.
Olivier
It was
said it.
Dustin Hoffman. It was
Right,
Marathon
right,
Man.
right.
Yeah, why don't you
And
do
Why
then
don't you
that?
try
why
acting?
don't you try acting? Just, well, that's what I feel. You pick up a script and you go, okay, what are we doing today? And we being all your personalities, because all actors have a zillion personalities. And you just, what are we doing? And so you just figure it out. Okay, we're doing that, then we're doing that, then we're doing that, then we're doing that. And this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm feeling. Can I do that? Yeah, I got it. Who am I talking to? All right, let's go.
It's true. Now both of you
Yeah.
did with Stella Adler.
Uh-huh.
Now she didn't do private moments, did she?
She did a master class.
She did a master class.
But I mean, private.
Yeah.
No,
I
I mean
wonder-
the
Yeah, I
exit.
wonder if we took the same master class.
Isn't that funny?
I did it for an entire summer.
Me too.
Wow, how
Who
weird.
was in your?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I wasn't blonde at the time, and she
Oh.
hated blondes.
Oh.
She was like screaming at all the blondes in the class.
She
I
was a
like,
blonde.
Yeah, well, she had some always great-looking guys.
Yeah,
sitting
and
next to her.
like, why don't you just go back in the kitchen and don't even come here, you know? She used to say, why don't you just tear off your shirt?
She'd be like, the sand is getting to you, the sand. Go back to the concrete. She was all about New York, you know. Go back to New York.
Yes. Well,
She was crawling on the floor, and she was
So
amazing.
dramatic.
Just so dramatic.
Yeah.
But I mean, talk about getting into it, you know. I mean, she just fully committed.
totally. But then, the exercise I was talking about, private moment. I know Lee Strasberg did it, and I think she was sort of against it. You know, private moment is when you.
She wasn't about you. She was about. She used to always say, "Don't take a shower in your shower because your shower is limited. Take a shower in your imagination shower, because then it's forever."
I like that.
That was her whole thing.
But it's
It's
right on.
true.
Yes, it makes sense.
She's all about all about your imagination. Yeah, she was very exciting.
Because we were talking about that at the studio, and it was at Martin Landau was talking about a private moment when you do it on stage.
Yeah.
Should always be that if someone saw you, you would be embarrassed.
Well, I like to say that's really great acting.
Yeah.
You know, and I think those moments, unfortunately, are only in film and in the theater.
In the theater.
Because, you know, in television they have to cut to commercial. Unless, you know, you're doing like a really great show like Orange is the New Black or Walking Dead, or, you know, they take their moments, which is very beautiful to watch. And Breaking Bad was, oh my God.
Well, British TV does that. I watch a lot.
Yeah, they take their moments.
You know, and most of the actors working here come from England or
Yeah.
Australia. You know, they use the American accent here. And,
So annoying.
They're doing all the
I just have to
films
say I'm
now.
annoyed. I'm annoyed at that.
But nobody wants to train here. They want to become movie stars, not actors.
Yeah, but it's just like a thing right now, and
It's a fad, you mean?
yeah, it's a fad. It's just
Well, it's been going on for quite a while.
I know it's annoying.
You know,
It's annoying. We have great actors here.
and
They
yeah,
just have to
and-
find them, but they're great actors here.
And these people that come in there, I was watching Dominic West in a movie, Pride, sort of the Directors Guild the other day. And I'm looking at him, he's playing this gay guy. And he was brilliant in it. You know, with the accent and everything. I just love, they do the work.
No kidding. I agree with you. But there are still American actors that do the work that they just
I
have
agree
to find
with
them.
you.
You know, they
I
just
thought
have
there
to
was a
find them.
rule against that.
I don't know. It's been broken a lot. And it's not to say, I mean, we've had some brilliant European actors come here.
Helen Mirren.
But, yeah, just brilliant.
Judi Dench.
I think it's great.
I
think it's great, but try out the American actors first. Let's go there first.
It's supposed to be that way.
Yeah, homegrown. Buy
No,
from your own store, damn it.
I go for that.
Buy American.
Buy here. Go American.
USA.
USA. Okay, we're done.
You're 100% right, though. But it's also a point that the actors should look at why they're not working.
I agree with you there too. I agree with you.
You know, instead of
Yeah.
trying to.
Well,
go
you
out
know
and-
what? Homework. A lot of actors just don't understand the idea of homework. They don't understand the idea of how long it takes to really break down a script and how long.
Well, even that book has exercises in it. I had a woman on the show, and she came and had the book in her bag.
This one?
Yes, had the book in her bag. She carries it with her.
Wow.
Because the average actor will buy that book and put it over there.
Mm.
And that's it. I mean, you have the book. Yeah, I have the book, but they don't use it.
Well, that's why I made my book really small.
I like that, so people can
Because
carry
everybody
it.
carries it with them.
And it should be. And the exercises in that
Yeah.
book. Because I believe, when I was teaching in Cleveland, the first half hour we all sat around and read from the book.
Mm.
And,
We read from the book.
we read
So
from the book.
religious, we read from
Well,
the
it was
book.
to
We
me.
said an Uda Hagen prayer.
Yes.
We read from the book. We sat in a circle.
I
It was
almost
our
went to
AA
HB.
meeting. It's like our AA meeting for Uda Hagen.
I almost
It's our
went there.
UH meeting.
I was in Sing Sing, and I was on work release, and
Sing Sing prison?
yeah, this is back in 19. When was that? 1970.
You weren't singing, you were in Sing Sing prison.
Yeah.
Let's get this
I was
straight.
in Attica too.
Oh my goodness.
And this was 1977, and they wanted to send me over to Uta Hagen, HB, but they thought it was too commercial, so they sent me to Terry Schreiber.
I remember Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who I studied with
Yeah.
originally. And I mean, when I was in prison. And I used to go back to jail at night, you know. I was up in a work release up there in Harlem. And it was interesting, you know, in my career. My career, my life story, and because I remember, you know, it's amazing. All the things that we use as an actor.
Uh-huh.
My history would be an actor's dream.
Yes.
And of the background that I come from.
Memory bank.
You know, very.
So where's your book?
My matter of fact, you know,
Write it.
He wanted me to write it.
Write it.
My agent, you know, who was my agent at the time.
Write it.
You know, you ever see the movie The 7 Ups? It's about an organized crime task force in the Bronx. Matter of fact, it was Richard Lynch's first starring role. Remember the actor Richard Lynch, the one that he burnt his face?
Oh yeah, Richard Lynch.
Great actor.
Yeah.
You know, he killed himself. Him and I were very good friends. And that was his first starring role. And he used to get a kick when I told him, those are the guys that busted me. Real life, organized crime in the Bronx. And, you know.
You gotta write the story.
No, I don't have to write the story. I lived this story already.
Well, I think it would be a great story to write the
Yeah,
story.
you know, it's my knowledge, and which makes me unique as an actor.
That's true.
You know, I think it's one of the reasons why I can walk in that office and don't care.
Exactly. You've been through enough. This means it's like fun just to go.
Jane Jenkins and them, you remember her?
Yeah.
The casting director. You know,
Casting
they
company.
love me.
The
They
casting
love
company.
me, you know, and I mean, it hasn't been years, but it's my history is there, and I'll send you. I do a thing I work on Gary Gilmore from the Executioner song Norman Mailer wrote, and I work on the letters that have never been done. I'll send you. I have one on YouTube. The first letter. I thought it was great. Since I got the camera, I was sitting and one day I just let me see if I remember the lines. Because
Cool.
for years I did it at Actors Studio, and every time I would do it, I would find something different. And I had a lot of identification with the guy, a lot of identification with him. I mean, he killed them two guys because he couldn't get a white pickup truck he wanted. You know? And
See, he's a regular guy's guy. Well, I think I'll stay on your good side. I didn't say anything bad today, did I? I was good, wasn't I? I was nice, wasn't I?
I did say I
Oh my
liked.
God! We gotta get out of here!
I did say I liked the book. I wanted to read the book.
We'll be leaving that.
Thanks so much.
Somebody it's funny, on you know, I'm called John, and someone on Facebook asked me, aren't you a little old to be called John? And I wrote back, 1969, my Uncle Fat Carmine gave me that name. And I earned it.
Yeah.
My Uncle Fat gave me the name John,
I
Fat
love
Carmine. And people, you go to any Italian neighborhood, they know the name John.
There you go.
And it's very standard. Actually, it's a true story. Craig says to me one day in the office, he says, I had you checked out. He says, I know you're the real thing.
Well, thanks.
He really did. He had me checked
Thanks,
out.
just in case I didn't know. Thanks a lot. I'm legitimate. Good. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Listen,
Thank
I wanted you ladies, you were brilliant. You're going to love this when you see it. It'll be up tonight.
Oh, fun.
And I really, thank you. If you have an email, because I learned how to do the links. Helen
Yeah.
at Active Studio showed me how to do the links.
Yeah, send it over.
You know.
The LYNDON Technique at gmail.com.
Oh, Gmail, yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you, ladies.
Yeah,
and
thank
this
you.
was really, really great.
Really
So-
fun.
no, it really was fun. I hope you enjoyed it.